topics given in our syllabus in the 7th unit, building blocks of mobile apps. Of course, everything we covered. We quickly go through the content of that our syllabus. App user interface designing, mobile user interface resources like layout managers, user interface elements, and drawable and menu bars. And another important concept is activity. Of course, everyone is clearly know the concept for activity, and states and life cycle of app development. And lastly, interconnection among the activities. Already we saw some example how to create the buttons, how to link with the next page and all. Let me discuss quickly mobile user interface. This is the layout. What is meant by layout? This layout is a resource, simply is a template for user interface screen, front page and back end, how to connect with front page and back end, everything. This is overall, we call it as layout. So these layout classes, linear layout, relative layout, table layout, etc. There are different types of layouts. It's very, very important question as far as 7th unit is concerned. Okay, these are all the different layouts. Okay, we will see. So this is all about already. This is a theory of layout. Yeah, these are all the types of layout managers: linear layout, relative, table, grid, and tab layout, and list view, and customer list view elements. So we'll see one by one. Of course, in our example, we saw different type of layouts. So these are some of the definitions for each layout. Linear layout is a view group that aligns all the children in a single direction, in the vertical and or horizontally. This is all about the linear. I'll show you the diagrammatic representation. And relative layout is a view group. It's based on the view. We can group all the buttons, text box, everything displayed in the child views. Whereas in table view, it looks like a table view group views into rows and columns, right? And absolute layout, this absolute layout enables you to specify the exact location of its children. Okay, exact location, we can use that layout. Whereas in frame layout is a placeholder on screen that you can use the display in a single view. There is no multiple views, only single view. That is a frame. Already we discussed in that HTML, CSS, how to create a frame. Each window we can categorize multiple divisions. That is called as frame, right? So another important view is a list view. Of course, we all know that list is line by line representation. Whereas in grid view, displays the number of items in 2-dimensional and scrollable grid. You can get it. So these are all the types of layouts. So quickly go through what is linear layout. So this linear layout is nothing but what are the different directions, vertically and horizontally. We can represent, that is a linear layout. This is the code where we can update, that is linear layout. This is the code where exactly we can mention horizontal and vertical. Android : orientation, right? This is the layout parameters. We can give the text. And another important thing is relative layout. So relative layout is a view group that displays in the child view elements. Okay. So for example, in the right side, you mentioned as a field. In the bottom, you have two child buttons, button A and one more button A. So this is all about the relative layout. This is a child representation of child buttons. So where you can mention the layout, the bottom paragraph, they mention layout below, layout align, parent right, left, and two left off. So these are some of the functions we can use in the relative layout. So this is a diagrammatic where exactly we need to update in the code. And table layout, we all know that if you say as a table, rows and columns, how many rows, how many columns you want. just you can mention, and table row tr, and table header th, and table header td. So these are all the tags we can use as usual in the HTML page, right? So, and another important, how many columns you want. What is my padding? Any idea? Padding means we can give the space from the left to right. Okay. And another important, grid view. So single page, if we can view multiple pages, we can categorize the multiple pages. That is a grid view. So this is the coding of how to change that grid view. And tab view, tab layout. So just you can use the, in our keyboard, can use a tab from bottom to top. This is a bottom is tab weight, and bottom is a frame layout. Just you can click the tab button, it is automatically changed. So where we can change bottom tab width and tab height, and tab bar selector. So this is some of the icons. You can use this developers.android.com. This is a website. And another is list view. So list view is a one by one. It's a top to bottom. Okay. So item 1, 2, 3, and so on. So just you can click the list view in a XML file. You can update everything. It's a list activity. So activity and list view. This is another representation of list view. And list view adapter. So everything is possible. Only you must know where you want to change the code. That's all. Right. So for that you need to install and do some work. Then only you can understand thoroughly. Even though I shared that materials and YouTube link and expert discussion, even now just you can install and do some activity. Then you can understand thoroughly. So this is custom array adapter and list view events. So what are the events? You may study it in the Java programming. Event listener. So menu event, keyboard event, on click, left click, right click, scrolling. These are some of the events. So event is nothing but if you do some action, you will get corresponding output. So that is called as event listener. I hope you all studied in the Java programming. So here there is an example on item click listener. So what is meant by listener? Once the event is occur, listener should receive the outcome of the action. Based on the action, you will get the response. That is the main purpose of listener work. Right? Same way, there are so many events. Okay. Layout, inflator, list view. This is the output of the list view. Item 1 to 7 and so on. And scroll view. So there are some of the items you cannot see entirely. So for that you can scroll either top down or bottom up. So by using this scroll view, you can get it done. And start activity with the parameters. So we all know that where we can give the parameters within the bracket. Okay. For example, void add a comma b. So a comma b is a parameter. So likewise, we can give n number of parameters in the same function. So these are all the Android layout types. Okay, this is very, very important question you expect for any exam, right? IA2 as well as end semester exam. So I hope as of now there is no doubt. Any doubt? Yes. Please respond. Any doubt, students? Students, any doubt? Please unmute and answer for that.
No, sir.
Okay, right. We'll move forward. So here, app user interface designing. So normally Java is used for design so many activities in the Android app development. Okay, so Java is a backbone of all the smartphone. Why? Because this is contains there are so many built-in library functions. Just you can add the library function. Everything it will take care for that Android functions, right? So that's why Java is so popular in all the smartphone, even now. So we all know that activity, we all know that event handling, right? So another important concept is non-programming is coming under image files, icons, XML, and screen layout files, other media elements, other media like inserting audio, video, everything. What are the advantages? Another important advantage is core reusability. So core reusability is nothing but once you develop some project or some apps, you can use the same code instead of start from the scratch. So that is another advantage of when you are using Android Studio. So this is the, we all know that activity, again I'm repeating. So activity is important in Android app development. It represents a single screen with user interface just like a window or frame of Java. Android activity is a subclass of context theme wrapper class. We all know that wrapper class is nothing but a class contains multiple classes. That is a wrapper class. So an activity of the application component provides a screen with which user can interact in order to do some activity such as dial up the phone, take a photo, send a mail, or view the map, or do some gaming, right? So each activity is given in the window which drawn its user interface. So once you click the first activity, it goes to second activity. So if you click the second activity, it goes to third activity. Likewise, you can keep on change the operations. We call it as activity, right? So these are some of the activity states, right? Activity state visible, partially visible, and hidden. So these are all the states: active, pause, stop, destroyed, right? These are the Android app states. Now coming to another important concept, Android app lifecycle methods. So there are, we have seen so many lifecycle methods like OS and Java also lifecycle methods are there. This is for app development, Android mobile application lifecycle methods. So lifecycle in the sense, so how to start the app and where to finish the particular app. So these are some of the methods used. Okay. So once you start the Android Studio, that is an activity launched. Once it is launched, as a user, we need to create some task. That is on create. So this is the method it will take care. So that's why Java is so popular. There are so many built-in functions. So these are the predefined library functions available in Java, right? So on create, on start, on resume, on pause, on stop, on destroy, on restart. So these are some of the methods used in the app lifecycle methods. So just you can create, once it is started, it will goes for all the remaining functions. So if you want to do some activity running in between, so we can go with on pause. So if you don't want to pause, just you can click again, it will restart. That is up to on destroy. So on destroyment is similar to delete operations. So once your function is over, it automatically destroy. That is on destroy. So after that, it will activity shutdown. So these are some of the life cycle methods. This is another question they may ask, right? So this is the explanation about all the methods. Just now I explain you. So this is another diagrammatic representation how it is goes from the beginning to end of any app lifecycle model. So this is some of the coding how you can start. So by using package and overriding concept constructor. I hope you all understood. Already you are studied in Java programming. Okay. So this is some of the course. So this is the all the questions from the 7th unit. Okay. So next class, day after tomorrow, we will start the some more concepts, and we will discuss in the 8th unit also. Okay. Dear students, if you have any queries, you can ask now.